In this tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to create a single subject reversal design using Microsoft Office 2007. To start with, put your cursor in cell A1 and click, and then type in session number, and then tab over to cell B1 and type data. Now bring your cursor down to cell A2 right below session number, and write the number of sessions that you recorded in your study. Right, I'm going to say that I recorded 15 sessions. Now, below the cell that we entered data in, you're going to write the data that you collected from your study for each session. Okay, once you have that entered, you can come over, this is optional, but you can come over to the side and write your phases in next to your data. This is going to be B. That's phase B. This is back to baseline. We could write BL again if we want. And then this is B again. Okay, so now you're going to take your cursor up to the top left corner again, click down with your left clicker to select all of the data that you have entered, including the session number and the data cell. You're going to release your clicker. Now, go up to the top of the page where it says Insert, and then go down to the panel, third panel over, it says Charts. Click on Line. A drop-down menu will appear. Go down to the second row that says Line with Markers, and that's what you want to select. Okay, this is the graph that appears. This is what it should look like, something to this effect based on your data. The first thing you want to do is remove this unnecessary path from the session number through the middle of your chart. So what you're going to do is first click on it once with the left clicker of your mouse, and then once you can see all the data's been selected, you click the right click down. The menu that shows up at the very top, you select Delete. And as you can see, that took away that whole line, and over here took the label away. Then you're going to right click somewhere in the chart to where you can see it selected. Scroll down to Select Data. Now, under the horizontal category, you want to select Edit, and you want to make sure that only the data is included not the session number. So you're going to click with your right or your left clicker here, and you're going to drag down to include all of your session numbers, and that's it. Then you're going to click OK, and click OK to exit the Select Data Source window. In your single subject graphs, you always want to make sure that your data points and your lines are black. So the next thing you're going to do is left click one of the data points, and you'll be able to see that all of them are selected now. So then you're going to right click, scroll down to Format Data Series, click on that. On the left options, menu of options, you're going to select Marker Fill, Solid Fill, and you want to make sure that this is selected black. Then you're going to go down to Line Color, Solid Line, and you want to make sure that the black is selected. You can see already over here underneath that it has changed. Finally, you want to go to Marker Line Color, and you can either select no line or solid line and make sure that it's black. Either way, you just don't want a color surrounding your data point. Once you've done all that, select Close. Alright, that looks really good. Now, between each phase in your graph, you don't want a connecting line. So, if you go back over here and look at my data, you can see that phase 2 started at session 5, right here, because that's where I put my B for my phase B. So, between data point 4 and 5, I don't want a line, and you can see that right here. Here between 4 and 5, there's more of my phase changes. So what you want to do is select, I'm going to select data point 5. I clicked it once with my left clicker, and I'm going to click it one more time to where that is the only data point selected. Then I'm going to right click it, select Format Data Point. On the menu, I go to Line Color and select No Line. And you'll see already over here it showed that it took my line away. So you go down to the bottom of the window and select Close. And you can see that took it away. So when you have two data points, you want to select the higher numbered data point and go about it that way to remove the line, because it will remove the line behind that data point. Right, you're going to do this for the rest of the phases, rest of your phases. Next, you're going to remove the lines, the horizontal lines on your graph. So you want to left click on one of the horizontal lines once, and then you can see that they're all selected here by these little dots, indicate that it was selected. So then you're going to right click, and at the top of the drop down menu you're going to select Delete, and that just took away all of our horizontal lines. Next, come over to the legend, click it once with your left clicker, right click, and then select Delete to delete that data. Alright, this already has a title at the top of our chart. So I'm going to type head banging. because a child is engaging in SIB in this study, we're going to say. Now, you need to make sure you add titles to the horizontal and vertical axes of your graph. So, to do this, you want to go up to the top, select Layout tab, and then in the third section over, it's titled Labels. Now, if for some reason your graph didn't have a title at the top, you would select Chart Title, and you would come down to the third selection and click Above Chart to display title at the top of your chart. I already have a title, so I'm going to come over here to Access Titles, scroll down to Primary Horizontal Title. Okay, come down to the second option, which says Title Below Axes. Click on that. As you can see, I have my title option down here. So I'm going to select that and I'm going to type sessions. Push enter, or just select out of there somewhere with your left clicker. Then I'm going to come back up to the top again where it says Axes Titles, go down to Primary Vertical Axes Title, and you're going to select the second option, which is Rotated Title. Okay, you can see that's been entered there. So you're going to type in your new title that you want for the dependent variable, which is your vertical axes. Type in your title. Okay. And that should be entered there. As you can see, that's starting to look good. Okay, so we have our horizontal and our vertical axes title. We have the title of the graph. We still need to put in phase change lines. So to do this, you're going to go to the top of your window and select Insert tab. On the Illustrations panel here, you're going to select Shapes, and you're going to come down to the first row. Second option is Line, and you're just going to select that once with your left clicker. Okay, bring your cursor down to the bottom of your graph, and then push down on your Shift key, and then push down on your left cursor. And you're going to drag it up to about the top of your last session, or your last dependent variable, which mine is 16. So I'm going to get it there, and I'm going to release my clicker and my Shift key. All right, there's my line for my phase change. Now you still want to edit this, so you're going to left click on it, or right click on it, I'm sorry, and you're going to select Format Shape, and on the Line Style section, you're going to come down to Dash Type. On the drop down bar, you're going to select the fourth option, which is Dash, and then you're going to go and push Close to exit out of that. And you can see it made your phase change line into a dash line. So what you want to do now is right click that, select Copy, right click again somewhere in your graph and push Paste, and it copied and pasted it right on top of where the other one was. So then you're just going to drag this over to your next phase change, and there you go. You have two of your phase change lines. So then come over to the edge of the graph again, Right click, push paste again. It's going to paste another phase change line on top of the first one again. And you can just move it over to your last phase change. Alright, it might, the phase change line when it's copied and pasted might show up at a different, somewhere else in your graph, I don't know, but you kind of have to work with that and deal with that as you go. Okay, so we have our phase change lines. This is starting to look like a good graph. Alright, now we want to put in phase change titles. So you're going to go again to the top of your screen and select Insert. And then on the panel titled Text, you're going to select Text Box. Alright, and then you're going to select somewhere in the graph where you want to put approximately where you want to put your title, and I'm going to put baseline because this is our first phase and it's our baseline phase. Alright, get it, select the box once it's typed in there, and you want to move it to be centered in the middle of the phase. Okay. Alright, so then you're just going to do the same thing again. Insert, text box, and select the area. This is my B phase. So if you want, you can make the text box smaller because it's sometimes easier to move that way. And when your cursor turns into this four-way arrow, that's when you can, well, no, it didn't work. When it turns into a four-way arrow right here, that's when you can drag and move to get it where you want it, and you want it centered at the top of in between your phase. Okay? If you select one of the text boxes, there you go. Okay, so then we'll do it, just have to do this 2 more times. Text box, baseline again, shrink down your text box size, select it to move it, get it centered and even with the other titles. Okay, and then insert again, text box, B, because this is our second intervention.